Okay, so in continuation of adding a remote desktop on our server 2012 R2, excuse. So all we need to do is we need to add a roles. So on your dashboard, find the add roles and features, then proceed to next and proceed to role based or feature based installation and proceed to next, and with the same server on under the server pool and next. And so this is the server role. You can find the added rules previously. So the next step that you need to do is you need to find the RDS, which means the remote desktop services. So you need to check this one and then proceed to next and next and next. And now in this portion, the roles under the RDS or the server remote desktop services is we need to find the remote desktop connection broker, the remote desktop licensing, and also the remote desktop session host. That's only the three that we need to add under the RDS, which means that it will also allow us to remote a device or a computer. So we need to press the next and install. So that's basically the steps on how to add roles on our server manager. We are done with the setup on our server. So right now we are at our what do you call this one, client. So on your keyboard, please you can do is just press Windows E and then find this PC on the left corner, the tabs, and then right click on the blank space like this one, and then find the properties after the right click. So this will show up the system under the system and security. So you need to find the remote settings. Right after that one, it will ask you to enter the what do you call this one, the credential of our server. So you need to input that one. So the credential, the default name always of the server is administrator, and indicate the password of your server. So this one will show up the system properties under the remote desktop. So as you can see, the remote desktop is it's under the default of do not allow remote or don't allow remote connection to this computer. So the things that we need to do is to allow the remote connection to this computer, and you can also select which user or which credentials is allowed to remote this desktop or this computer. So for me, I just had to indicate the admin. So it shows, and also you can also indicate, for example, your domain, CTI edu domain. So it will show directly, or if not, just like that one, if not, you can also indicate the domain users, so that all the users under those domain then can remote this PC or computer. So to show if we can really remote the desktop of the server, all you need to do is you need to find the remote desktop connection and indicate the IP address of the device or the computer that you want to remote. Okay, so for me, if I want to remote the server desktop, all I need to do is indicate the IP address of the server. Since I already know that the IP address of the server is 192.168.100.10, then just press enter. You just have to wait for the initiating remote connection, and you're ready to go. That's the basic things when it comes to the remote. So under the server, you need to click the session host, the broker, and the licensing when adding roles. So that's the thing that you need to consider. If not proceeded to remote, then all you need to do is you need to go back to your server and process the same setup that you conducted under the client. So okay, now so in the client desktop or the computer, it shows an error that it is not allowed to connect on that device or in that computer. So as mentioned lately, that the same setup on our client is also applied to our server. So we need to Windows E on our server and find this PC and find the blank space and right click properties and find the remote settings. So as you can see, it is not allowed to remote on our server. So this server or PC is not allowed to be remote by anyone. So we can also allow remote vice versa. So on our client setup lately, we already only added the administrator and the domain users. Now in this portion, we can also just add the domain users, and that's all. And okay, and apply, and okay. So what if we try here in our server to remote the client? So since the IP address of our client is 192.168.100.11, so I'll just have to search remote desktop connection and then type the IP address of that computer or that client. So if I want to remote the client desktop or computer, then I just have to indicate the 192.168.100.11. So it shows that we can access the client. So just have to indicate its what do you call this one, credential. So since the credential is just jam, the username and the password, so just have to set up the password. And you can also click the remember my credential. So in this portion, it takes a lot of time because it has a precautionary process. For example, like this one, the securing the remote connection, then you just have to wait, and later part it should show a yes prompt message that which allows us to connect on that device or on that computer or PC, what do you call this one. So just like this one, you just have to check the don't ask me again so that it won't show up again and again. Just proceed, and next is to yes, then we can now remote our client. So the result should be that this display on our server desktop, it should the client display or the desktop screen of our client on our server desktop, since this is a remote setup. Okay, so right now we are at our client. So that's the result of our, what do you call this one, remote desktop services under the RDS. So as mentioned, the IP address of our client is, I just have to configure IP config. This is a client setup, by the way. This is the setup of our client. So IP config, so that's the IP address of our client. So this shows the result of the remote desktop services under the 2012 R2 server. So that's all, and thank you. So once you close this one, it will also close the remote session. Okay, so that's all. Thank you and God bless.